Yo, what's going on, Lakers? It's Zay, and today we back with another episode of Laker Game Day. Today's episode, the game we're going to be doing is Guess Who. I think I'm one of the best Guess Who players in the world, humbly speaking, because I barely lose. I'm great at guessing people. I ask the best questions. Yeah, I don't want to do much talking. We're going to talk about the history of the game while playing the game, so let's go.
The game was developed by Israel game inventors Ora and Theo Koester, the founders of Theora Design.
So basically, the rules of the game is you get assigned a person out of a big group of people on a board, and you both get selected one person, and you guys have to ask each other questions. And first person to guess who is who's the other person is wins. This game was actually originated in the UK and wasn't brought to the United States until 1982.
Is it Joe?
He cheated. I'm not playing again.
Sore loser.
You don't have the microphone, stupid.
That was the episode of Laker Update. I'll see you later.
Laker Update reporter Mars and Jayon interviewed two teachers, Miss Mason and Miss Gago, on this week's episode of Laker Teacher Feature.
Good morning, Lakers. Today we have another teacher feature featuring Miss Gago.
What's your name?
Mrs. Gago.
What do you teach?
Health.
What are some things you love about teaching?
I love my students and all the personalities.
Is there anything that inspired you?
I don't. I used to play teacher when I was younger, and so ever since then, I've always just wanted to be a teacher.
What are some prior educations you took?
I took a future educators class in high school, and where I would go to elementary school during my last 2 hours of school, and I would help teach and or get the classroom ready for the teacher. So that was my prior education before going to college.
What are some things you hope your students take away from your classes?
I'm hoping that they can advocate for a healthy lifestyle and learn to stay away from drugs and anything that is a risk behavior.
Thank you. Good morning, Lakers. Today we have another teacher feature. This time it's Miss Mason. Let's go.
Mrs. Mason,
And what do you teach?
weight training, PE1, PE2, yoga Pilates.
What do you love about teaching?
My students, it's probably my favorite thing. Of course, I love teaching about fitness, about health, about wellness, but I love my students and my relationship with them, connecting with them.
What inspired you to teach?
That's a tough question. I would say I had a lot of teachers at West Bloomfield. I went to West Bloomfield, and they really inspired me because it wasn't about the content they taught me. It was the relationships they built with me, and just the lessons and the things that they connected to my life that made me want to influence and inspire other young individuals.
What are some prior educations you took to be where you are today?
I did my undergrad at Central Michigan University, fire up chips. So really all you have to do is a bachelor's degree. And then I did a master's degree through Southern Illinois University online. But yeah, I got a bachelor's degree in physical education. So,
What's one thing you hope your students take away from your classes?
that it's a lifestyle. It's not just a one-time thing. There's an ebb and flow in your fitness. There's an ebb and flow in everything in life. So it's got to move our bodies and do something every single day to stay healthy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, Lakers, that was your teacher feature. We'll see you next week.
Laker Update reporters Max and Gabby took the tour at the Transition Center.
Bloomfield Transition Center is set to open next year, but plans to bring students and the staff that will be using the space in are undergoing this year. We got to tour it before the grand opening. Let's take a look around and see what's been built.
Transitions is for special needs students 18 to 26. So this is a transition from high school into adulthood. That is what this program is intended for. Here we are inside the new PAYS lab. This was a former classroom that we converted into the PACE Lab, and Dewan's going to tell you what the PACE Lab stands for and what the kids accomplish in this room. But as far as the challenges of building this, we actually had to cut through the corridor this summer and trench in all new water and sewer lines over to this classroom so that they could have water here, and they need that as part of the program. But part of our summer work that we did is we were able to put in a new kitchen for the high school special ed department and also add in a new laundry room and create a second bathroom over there on that side of the building. So we did quite a lot of work in addition to the transition work to get, that we were able to get done this summer.
This is where the kids come and they really work on some skills that they may need to go into different jobs. So there may be a cash register where a student is working on sorting change or identifying coins. There may potentially be some woodwork going on. There could potentially be some plates with a student putting together the utensils, so the forks and the knives and the spoons. So this is where students are really working on skills that they would need in the workforce, and it's us identifying, is this a good skill for them, is this not a good skill for them, and what direction we need to go in as far as what industry they may be best suited for.
Has your favorite product ever been Scout before?
Laker Update reporters Hector and Juan talk about Pokemon cards for the day.
Pokemon began as a simple video game franchise in 1996 created by Satoshi Tajiri and Ken Sugimori. With the release of Pokemon Red and Green for the Game Boy, it quickly evolved into an international phenomenon, spawning an anime series, trading card game, and merchandise that captivated millions. What followed was nothing short of revolutionary. Today, Pokemon continues to dominate, whether through new games, movies, mobile apps, but it still remains one of the highest grossing media franchises of all time.
But in 2025, Pokemon is facing a new problem. What was once a hobby for fans is now one of the most scalped products in the United States. Pokemon cards, merchandise, and collectibles are being sold at outrageous prices, sometimes nearly double or triple the retail value. You can't find them in stores anymore, not without a fight. Even though most retailers restock on a weekly basis, it's a race against the clock, with long lines of eager resellers waiting for the new stock to hit the shelves. And when it does, it's sold out in hours.
These scalpers aren't just collectors, they're resellers. They swoop in, buy up everything they can, then sell it online for a profit, leaving retail and local card shops empty. It's a situation that leaves true fans frustrated.
Implemented purchasing limits, restricting the amount of Pokemon products any one person could buy at a time. The idea is to prevent resellers from clearing out the shelves, but it's a tough battle as demand still outpasses supply.
This growing craze is the release of Pokemon TCG Pocket, a mobile game that has reignited the passion of longtime fans and brought in a new generation of players. With more and more people rediscovering the joy of Pokemon through their phones, it's no wonder that the demand for cards and collectibles has skyrocketed as more and more people return to the hobby and prices continue to climb.
Despite these challenges, the future of Pokemon looks brighter than ever. From dedicated fans returning to the hobby to new ways of engaging with the franchise, it's clear that Pokemon isn't just a fleeting trend, it's here to stay. But as demand grows, so too does the need for solutions to ensure that the true fans can still enjoy the magic of Pokemon without falling victim to the ever-growing tide of scalpers.
We'll be right back after this commercial break.
Don't litter.
This is how to drive safe and smart for dummies. Before you even get in your car, make sure there's nothing wrong on the outside. After that, make sure that you aren't under any influence. When you get in your car, buckle up, keep that phone down, and keep your eyes on the road. As March Madness comes to an end, we have more from Laker Update reporter Isaiah predicting who wins March Madness in the final 4 games.
I'm going to be doing my predictions for the Final Four for the NCAA bracket.
I don't know.
All right, so for Auburn and Florida, you got Janai up here, right? And then you got Walter down here. Janai is a pretty good rebounder, you feel me? I don't know. Auburn's been pretty good this year. They've been at like the top of college all year. Florida's been doing really good in the tournament, but I think Auburn, just as an overall team, I think I have them going to the finals. And then here for Houston and Duke. Houston is a really good defensive team, and I think they could potentially stop Duke's offense. But I also think that Duke has a great combination of offense and defense. You feel me? And you know they have like the #1 pick in the NBA draft this year, so I think I have Duke going to the final. All right, bet. So for the final, we have Auburn versus Duke. I don't see a world where Duke is losing. How they've been playing, like they've been dominant the entire tournament. I thought that the only team that could potentially beat them was like Arkansas, but they're out the tournament. So I really don't see a world where Auburn beats Duke. So I have Duke winning it all. We'll see if I'm wrong, but I think I'm right.
Coming up, we have sports news with Alex. Hey, Alex.
Good morning, Lakers. Today in sports, varsity baseball faces off against Chippewa Valley at home at 4:30. Also at 4:30, freshman baseball plays Oxford on the road. Later at 6, girls varsity soccer plays at Waterford Kettering. Tomorrow, girls JV and varsity lacrosse travels to Divine Child. JV plays at 10:30, varsity at 12. Also at 12, boys varsity lacrosse takes on Waterford at home. That's all for sports today. Have a great day, Lakers.
On today's episode of Laker Eats and Beats, me and Celeste go out and try Early Bird Cafe.
Welcome back, Lakers, to another episode of Laker Eats and Beats.
Today we went to Early Bird Cafe on Orchard Lake Road in Kego Harbor and tried some of their breakfast dishes. I got the Early Bird Special, which includes eggs, hash browns, and bacon.
And I got the veggie skillet that includes vegetables like onions, mushrooms, and bell peppers.
Add some pepper and a little bit of hot sauce.
Okay, so overall, I think my food was really good. The experience was nice. The waitress was nice. My food was flavorful. The skillet was nice. My egg was perfectly cooked. And the toast was really bomb. Like, I love the toast so much. But, yeah, so I really recommend it.
Alright, so, okay, my food was pretty good. I just got the eggs, bacon, and toast and hash browns. It was just like basic breakfast food. My eggs were, they're just normal. And so was everything else. But the bacon was really good. So was the toast. So I'd give it like a 7 out of 10. Pull up to Early Bird and have a great day, Lakers.
Thank you for watching Laker Update.
You can connect with us on all social media outlets and WBHSmedia.com.
Also, check out our podcast, Swamp Stories, found on Apple Music and Spotify.
Have a great day, Lakers.